So MRI is the metabolic response to injury. Mediators of MRI. It can be physiological or metabolic indicators. Those the same story, guys. So hypothalamus is going to release CRH, corticotropin releasing hormone, which goes to the pituitary, releases ACTH, which goes to the adrenal, releases adrenaline and cortisol. And the same sympathetic system will trigger the pancreas to release glucagon, will stimulate the adrenal to synthesize adrenaline and cortisol again. And all these are going to cause breakdown of the carbohydrates, the glycogen. So gluconeogenesis occurs, glycogenolysis occurs, and the lipolysis occurs, and protein also gets broken down in the muscles. But the fact is that in the liver alone, the protein does not get broken. The protein will form in the liver. Acute phase proteins are formed in the liver. We'll know more about acute phase proteins in the further part of the video. So inflammatory stuff has a few number for you to remember, which I can make it simple. So inflammatory cytokines are so the first part is inflammatory process, and the next from here on is the anti-inflammatory process. So in the first part, interleukin 1, 6 and 8 are all present, and TNF alpha is also present. That happens for a period of 24 hours, during which there is pyrexia. Well, all these chemicals, the cytokines, will increase the APP or the acute phase proteins from the liver. Extra things which occur at the tissue level are INOS, COX-2 and endothelin 1. All these will take part in the local tissue level. And then anti-inflammatory ones are interleukin 4, 5, 9 and 15 and TGF beta. I know there are a lot of number, guys, but let me tell you, 4 plus 5 is 9, so 4 and 5 comes here, and 9 plus 4 again, the first number 4, so you're gonna get 13. So 4, 5, 9 and 13, that is going to be responsible for CARS, guys. As you know already, counter regulatory anti-inflammatory response syndrome, that is there. It is going to reduce the immunity and reduce the resistance of the host and make it more susceptible to infections. Nosocomial infections occur after that. Extras, meaning they occur at the tissue level, are called SPM, which are nothing but specialized pro-resolving mediators. Examples are I'm going to say rotations per minute, because RPM comes there, resolvin, protectin and marasin. Lipoxin also helps it. But the main thing over here is the one given over here, guys. These names over here. Extras can be remembered, but which is important is always important. Next comes a few other factors, the hormonal factors, which are very underrated but very crucial. So insulin is low. Insulin-like growth factor is also low. Testosterone and the thyroid, the three levels are also low. All these three will reduce the BMR. And after that, let's go to the response. The response is going to be car, because we buy a car. Just kidding. So what happens is that there is going to be this response where first you are happy, and then first you are sad because you got hit. Second, you get happy, and third, you get sad. I'll tell you why you get happy in the middle. You will get happy because of catabolism, anorexia, and rest, which is car. Meaning everything breaks down when you rest and you don't feel like eating at all. Okay, so that's what happens. But in the long run, it is very hazardous to you. I'll tell you why now. So there's this person, it's called David Cuthbertson. David Cuthbertson said there is something called ebb flow. Ebb is 24, the duration of ebb is 24 to 48 hours, whereas flow has two phases, that is the catabolic and the anabolic phases. Catabolic phase is going to be for 3 to 10 days, whereas anabolic is going to be for weeks, because it takes a lot of time to build up a monument like Taj Mahal. And the flow phase is frequently associated with, or frequently known as, the SIRS phase. So there are these common points with distinguishing features. Volume of the person's body, the blood volume, the BMR, the cardiac output, the temperature, the pH are all low in case of the ebb phase, and in the flow phase all are very high. In addition, there are a few hormones which are common for both the phases. Catecholamine and cortisol are common to both the phases, whereas aldosterone is mainly for phase ebb, and insulin and glucagon are mainly for the phase flow. That is the second phase. And I'm gonna say log over here, log or gall. Log is going to be high in the flow phase. Log flow. Because just remember a log of fluid flowing in the water. So log is flow. Logs stand for leukocyte, oxygen consumption, and gluconeogenesis. All these three are high in the flow phase. Well, in the anabolic phase, specifically in the flow phase is anabolic phase, interleukin 1 is high, 6 is also high, TNF alpha is also high, which signifies there is a lot of inflammation. So when this inflammation occurs, it creates an insulin resistant state due to a lot of complex reactions which we need not go into, which is why even though insulin is produced over here, even though insulin is released here, because of an insulin resistance, there is no point of insulin being produced because the net effect is insulin resistance. Then let's